Alright, so today we'll be diving into the second half of the Blue Lock U20 arc. This is where Shido Ryusei is subbed in because the Japan U20 team isn't strong enough to beat Blue Lock. If you want to know how Shido and SAE completely dismantled the Blue Lock U20 team, stay tuned and watch the full video. And one more thing, what do you think about the animation of the Blue Lock U20 arc? This is the highly anticipated arc, and honestly, don't you think Blue Lock deserves better animation? Imagine if Ufotable animated Blue Lock. If you're a true Blue Lock fan, you can understand my pain. The Blue Lock manga is literally one of my top 5 favorite manga series. If you're not a manga reader, don't worry. I'm here to cover everything about this goated manga for you. I've talked enough. Let's get right into it. After the first half, when the Japan U20 team realized they were too weak, their star player, Itoshi Sai, announced he was leaving the match. This forced their captain, Oliver Aiku, to make a bold decision. Bring in the demon himself, Shido Ryusei. When Isagi and Rin entered the field, they noticed someone new on the U20 team. Of course, it was Ryusei Shido, or as Rin calls him, Antennae Bastard. Shido immediately approaches them and challenges Rin to prove which one of them is the real number one. Isagi tries to intervene, but Rin agrees to the challenge. Meanwhile, back on the benches, Henri is seen talking to Ego. She points out that the U20 team has changed their formation and asks Ego how he plans to respond. Ego, however, calmly states that they won't be changing anything. Ego confidently declares that the Blue Lock 11 won't fall apart so easily. With that, Ego announces that the real match is about to begin and the game resumes. On the field, Nico assesses the situation. He knows that Shido's weapon is his overwhelming ability to score in the goal zone, making it crucial to never let him out of sight. However, Nico also realizes that the moment of truth will come when Shido gets the ball near the goal. That's when Nico plans to block him as the last line of defense. However, Shido is completely dominating the field, ignoring both the opponent's and his teammates' formation. This makes all their practice useless because for Shido, it's not 11 versus 11, but 1 versus 21. Shido plans to destroy the entire field by himself, and the one helping him achieve that is Sai, who manages to link up with him. Sai passes the ball to Shido through such a narrow route that even Nico couldn't anticipate it. But Shido's rampage doesn't go unchallenged. Chigiri charges forward to intercept him, but just then Sendo steps in, asking Shido to pass. However, Sendo isn't the same as he was in the first half. Now he's actively supporting Shido as a decoy. Sendo passes to Itoshi Sai, who is already in the penalty area. Sai feints as if he's about to take a shot, but just as he kicks, it's revealed to be a cross aimed at Shido. Isagi realizes that just by Shido being on the field, the U20 team's offense has dramatically improved. However, as Shido is about to shoot the ball, he is interrupted by Nico, who steps in to save the play and kicks the ball away. Shido is furious, declaring that Nico is as good as dead. But Sai stops him, reminding Shido that he would throw away his dream by earning a red card here. Nico speaks to Gagamaru and Isagi, admitting that he couldn't stop Shido without fouling, even though he was able to see the play clearly. He explains that he was simultaneously tracking Sai's kicking motion and Shido's off-the-ball movements, which allowed him to predict the most dangerous spot with pinpoint accuracy. Isagi is impressed and tells Nico that his defense was amazing, but Nico disagrees, saying that Sendo messed him up. Sendo's movement, though seemingly plain, disrupted Nico's focus by running into weak spots in the defense line. This caused Nico's hesitation, ultimately leading to the foul and his yellow card. Nico admits that with Shido now in the mix, Sendo's presence has become an annoying distraction. Isagi is shocked at Nico's ability to observe all these details. But suddenly, Nico feels a sharp pain in his foot. Isagi asks if he's okay, but Nico brushes it off, saying he wants to keep playing. Nico reflects on how, even though he's frustrated that he wasn't chosen to play as a striker, he's found something new by using his eyes. He discovered how much fun it is to play defense and crush forwards. With a newfound resolve, Nico declares, "Because of that, we're going to win no matter what." He thanks Isagi for inspiring him, saying, "Now I'm not afraid of change anymore." Following Nico's foul, the U20 team gets a free kick. Shido immediately declares that he'll take it. However, with Rin cutting off Sai's usual passing routes, Sai warns Shido that their opponents are crowding the area, leaving no room to shoot. Shido, ignoring Sai, insists that he earned this free kick and gets to take the shot. Sai challenges him, asking if taking such a primitive approach is truly the best option he can think of. SAE elaborates, explaining that a play that balances both realism and idealism is often the most effective. He tells Shido to think outside the box and imagine his very best goal. Inspired by SAE's words, Shido claims he's just come up with a new super move and asks if SAE can keep up with it. Shido steps up to take the free kick, but at the last moment runs past the ball, leaving everyone stunned. SAE capitalizes on the opportunity and takes the shot himself. Chigiri, sharp as ever, quickly realizes this is a pass and predicts where Shido is headed. Determined to stop him, Chigiri sprints at full speed. His instincts are correct. SAE's pass is aimed at Shido, who positions himself for the perfect shot. The ball hurtles towards Shido at an incredible speed. Chigiri leaps to intercept, even considering a headbutt as his only option. However, the ball soars just a few centimeters above Chigiri's maximum reach. In disbelief, Chigiri wonders if SAE and Shido planned this from the start. Meanwhile, Shido grins and exclaims, "Bullseye!" as he leaps into the air, executing an incredible drive shot. The shot is unstoppable, and Shido scores, evening the match against the Blue Lock 11. Afterward, Shido, in his usual eccentric manner, makes some strange and questionable statements, which frankly don't need repeating. Let's just say he's unique. Following the goal, we hear Isagi's thoughts on the play. He deduces that Shido likely imagined the spot he wanted to shoot from and made a beeline for it. Chigiri anticipated this and tried to intercept, but SAE, reading the situation perfectly, placed the ball where Chigiri just couldn't reach. SAE's pass was nothing short of miraculous, threading the needle between Shido's movements, Chigiri's sprint, and the ball's speed and angle. Isagi concludes that both SAE and Shido's actions were reflexive. However, while Isagi is deep in thought, Shido shifts focus to SAE, asking for his phone number. SAE, unbothered, tells Shido he'll consider it if Shido scores a hat trick. Shido eagerly accepts the challenge. Meanwhile, not everyone shares their enthusiasm. Chigiri collapses to the ground in exhaustion. Nico too is struggling with his ankle, and Eigo announces it's time for substitutions. And the new arrivals are Ryo and Hiyori. As Chigiri heads to the bench, Eigo notices his expression and asks if he has a problem with the substitution. Chigiri, tears streaming down his face, screams that he doesn't. Eigo harshly tells him that if he's going to cry about it, he should have built up his stamina to last the entire match. Ryo approaches Nagi, telling him he better score this half, because if they don't win here, it's all over. And with that, the game is back on with the Blue Lock 11 in control of the ball. Isagi says that they are now changing tactics with Hiyori in the front line. He explains that up until now, they have all moved separately with Rin at the center, acting dynamically without pause, and expressing all of their individual strengths at once. But with Hiyori's strong suit, his cool-headed vision and ball control, he will become an anchor on the front lines. However, Hiyori is facing trouble right off the bat as Darai goes to block him. But of course, that doesn't matter to our favorite Cayenne boy, who makes a super fast outside pass to Nagi. However, Nagi isn't able to do much with it. With no choice left, he sends it to Isagi, who is running behind Rin. But just as he is about to shoot, Aiku comes in and kicks it away. Isagi is in disbelief over how much space Aiku is able to cover. The ball falls to Hayate, who passes it right on to Sai. As they start their counterattack, we get a flashback to when Ego subbed Ryo in. Ego tells Ryo that the only reason he is being subbed in is to stop Shido. Now in the game, Ryo sees both Shido and SAE running, and knows that he can't let either of them out of his sight. Ryo watches SAE toy with the Blue Lock 11 before passing it to Shido. But Ryo comes in, stops the attack, and uses his chameleon style to copy Aiku's defensive ability to get the ball away from Shido. Ryo knows that as long as he moves within his body's limits, he can copy any move with 99% accuracy. Ryo declares that he will win this match no matter what, and then work towards becoming a striker again. Ryo isn't the only one impressed by his ability, as Isagi calls it amazing. Isagi notes that Ryo marked Shido with his chameleon defense and that Hiyori's anchoring allowed for their attack formation to become more varied. Once they were subbed in, the Blue Lock 11 were able to rebalance the game and take the offensive again. Isagi knows that now, with the substitution working, he must score. But unless he is able to break through Aiku, he won't be able to. Shido moves forward to SAE and compliments his pass, telling SAE that playing football is pretty fun with him. "It's like electricity is pulsing through my brain," Shido says. SAE, confused, asks what he means. Shido admits he doesn't even know himself, but this is the first time his freedom was understood by someone else. He compares it to a big bang. SAE is somewhat happy for him but reminds him they still need to score. And with that, the match continues with a bang. Shidou reflects that the world still doesn't know him. He declares that his weapon is the ability to steal goals and live on the field. He'll use everything he can for the sake of penalty area perfection. As long as Shidou is inside the penalty area, even with his back to it, he finds a way to score without even seeing it. SAE passes the ball to Shidou, but Ryo is right behind him, telling Shidou he's not letting him shoot. However, that doesn't stop Shidou from trying as he takes a shot anyway. The shot is relatively easy for Gagamaru to catch. At this moment, Shidou says something profound, a sentiment many people can relate to. He says, "Every human on this planet wants to leave proof of their existence behind. The act of passing on their genes has been programmed into all living beings. They connect with others, even wound others, and do things to persist in the memories of others. Those who create something, those who want to become something, and of course, those who make children. They're all doing something that leaves proof they existed. For me, it just happens that football is my thing." Gagamaru kicks out the ball and it falls right to SAE's chest. SAE immediately passes it back to Shidou. None of the Blue Lock players expected this, but Shidou, acting on reflex, was ready for SAE's pass. With that, he breaks free, leading into a one-on-one with Gagamaru. However, Gagamaru doesn't fall for his tricks easily and heads the ball away from Shidou. The ball soars into the sky, but Shidou feels something, a strange sensation. He knows it's still too far, but even then he feels it. His goal. All of his cells are screaming at him to score a super goal. While this is happening, we see Ego commenting that Shidou has now entered the stage of flow. Shidou, who leaps into the air and pulls off a crazy bicycle kick right into the net. That move still blows my mind to this day. With this incredible play, Shidou gives the Japan U20 team the lead, and that's how Shidou and SAE destroyed Blue Lock. But if you want to know who saved Blue Lock and how they managed to recover from this crushing blow, you'll just have to subscribe. And I'll drop the next part. How the King saved Blue Lock.